Yes, people, how's it going? Welcome back to Lily White Lane. Hope you're doing good. Hope you're keeping safe and well. And in the words of the legendary Alan Partridge, hope you're having a really good Sunday wherever you are in the world and whatever you are planning to get up to today. On today's show, I'm going to be bringing to you guys your latest and your greatest Tottenham Hotspur transfer rumours reports and updates that have come out over the last 24 hours. And I'm going to be bringing to you guys your latest Tottenham Hotspur transfer rumours reports and updates from back home, from the setting you guys are used to, as I have just arrived home from Lanzarote. Had an absolutely fantastic time. Great people, great place, would honestly recommend it to anyone. But now that I am back, I will be uploading a lot more. I do apologise that I couldn't upload as much as I would have wanted to over there. I only uploaded, I believe, 2 or 3 videos out there. But look, the videos will be coming more often, hopefully daily, now that I am back. The only reason I didn't really upload one yesterday, we did obviously upload the Mari video where he gave his thoughts on the pre-season tour. Go check that one out. But I was ready to make a transfer news video when I arrived home yesterday. But there was just no real transfer news. There was nothing to discuss. I mean, no developments in the Mickey van der Ven and Thfc sagas. I'll talk about them a little bit later in this video because we are being linked with another centre-back. And there was just no news, and that's the reason I didn't upload one yesterday. But there has been a few reports come out this morning, so I do want to crack on and discuss those. The first one that I have seen is that Tottenham Hotspur have been linked this morning from a fair few reliable journalists saying this in sources with Crystal Palace centre-back Joachim Andersen. I believe that's how you pronounce it. I do apologise if I've pronounced it wrong. But yes, Spurs being linked with Crystal Palace centre-back Joachim Andersen. What I will say is at least we're being linked with the centre-back. For the past couple of weeks we've been linked with midfielders and strikers, which has done my head in because from what we're hearing, we're still in talks with 2 centre-backs, and constantly been thinking in my head, just get those deals over the line before you start looking at other positions. I'm glad we are at least now being linked with more centre-backs, but why are we being linked with this guy? You know, if we're willing to sign another centre-back apart from Van der Ven and Thfc, and the news we've heard for weeks now is that we're definitely going to sign one of those, why not just sign both of those? I don't understand it. I really don't understand it. If you believe what you'll hear from many reliable sources and journalists, we've been in talks with Wolfsburg and we've been in talks with Leverkusen for 2 weeks now for Thfc and Van der Ven. Yet there have been no real developments. None of these talks are advanced. Nothing's really happening in these talks. No bid has been put in from Spurs. No bid's been accepted from either German club. We're just in talks. It's like, just get those 2 deals over the line, or one of those deals over the line if you're not willing to buy 2, which I don't understand, and then move on to other players. But now we're being linked with another centre-back when we heard we're only going to buy one of the 2 centre-backs of Thfc and Van der Ven. If you're willing to buy 2 centre-backs, just buy the 2 that you're in talks with, Thfc and Van der Ven. But look, I will actually discuss a little bit about Joachim Andersen. I'd be very happy if we did sign 2 centre-backs, if it would have been Van der Ven and Thfc. But if we do sign Andersen and another centre-back, I won't be disappointed with that. I think Andersen is a very solid centre-back. I think one thing he is that Thfc and Van der Ven aren't, as much as I think they could prove it, they currently aren't, is Premier League proven. Andersen's proved himself in the Premier League. He's been in it for a fair few years. And the partnership he's formed with Guehi and the back line for Palace, they've been absolutely fantastic. You know, not as good this season, you have to confess that, but the season beforehand under Vieira, when Vieira first joined, and they got a very solid finish in the league table, when they've been in relegation battles for so many years before, he was absolutely excellent. And like I say, it hasn't been his best season, but it's still been a fairly good season for Andersen. He's a strong centre-back, he's a massive guy as well, wins a lot of headers, scores a fair few headed goals as well. Very, very good with your defending set pieces. I do like the guy. Don't get me wrong, but if we're willing to buy 2 centre-backs, just buy Thfc and Van der Ven. And if we're just going to buy Andersen, why have we been hearing for weeks that Spurs are definitely going to sign at least one of Thfc and Van der Ven? If you're willing to buy 2, just sign them both. I don't understand it. Personally, I take these rumours and reports with a pinch of salt, and I'm not going to consider them too much because from what we're hearing, we're in talks with 2 centre-backs and we're not in talks with Andersen and Crystal Palace. So get those 2 deals over the line, or do what you want to do with those talks and then start being linked to move on to other players. But look, those are my thoughts and opinions on it. I like Andersen, but if you're willing to buy 2 centre-backs, because what we've been hearing is that we're definitely going to sign one of Thfc and Van der Ven, just sign both Thfc and Van der Ven. But look, comment your thoughts down below. I want to hear them all. And look, we are going to move on to the next piece of news that has come out this morning. A bit of news about potential outgoings this summer. Giovanni Lo Celso, Napoli are interested in Tottenham Hotspur midfielder Giovanni Lo Celso. Look, will it be a loan with an obligation to buy like Ndombele? Because the thing is, if we loan him out and then we don't get rid of him, we're making the exact same mistakes we have done this season. The exact same mistakes that Paratici. Everyone goes Don Paratici. Yes, he signed a fair few players, but I think that's bollocks, because one of Paratici's main jobs at Tottenham Hotspur before he got convicted as a criminal was to clear out the dead wood. He didn't clear out any of them. He just loaned them all out, so we've got them all back this season. So, look, if it's just a loan deal, I wouldn't accept. I'd try to get Napoli to actually buy him, because, you know, what if it goes tits up? And it didn't necessarily go tits up for Ndombele. He actually did quite well for Napoli. But obviously they don't want to buy him. And now we've got another player on our books who we probably don't need or want on our books. So, look, I don't like the idea of loaning out the deadwood. I think you've got to clear them out. Otherwise, you've got them back next summer. And then what are you going to do then? Try and loan them out again when they're clearly not good enough. I'd try and actually sell Lo Celso instead of loaning him out. But it's good to see that there are clubs interested in him. You know, you do want clubs interested in your deadwood, otherwise you're never going to get to clear him out. The fact that a week ago we heard that Galatasaray were interested in Sanchez, that was music to my ears, because I thought, would any club actually be interested in Sanchez? How are we going to get rid of this guy? But look, Giovanni Lo Celso to Napoli could happen. My thoughts on the deal: I wouldn't like a loan deal. I'd like it to be a proper deal for Napoli, just to pay the money up front and then get Giovanni Lo Celso. And look, there's no doubt in my mind that he'd be good at Napoli. There is no doubt in my mind, because this guy seems to excel everywhere apart from the Premier League, but he just can't cut it at Tottenham Hotspur. We've given him chance after chance after chance, you know, and yeah, I'm just fed up with him. He seems to have a lack of passion and a lack of interest when playing for Tottenham Hotspur, which is always frustrating. The ability isn't there for Tottenham Hotspur, and it is frustrating as well, because, you know, we've loaned him out time after time to Villarreal, and he's been so good for them. Absolutely unreal for them. Same for Argentina. He's unbelievable for Argentina. Starts playing like prime Messi, yet he joins Tottenham Hotspur. He starts playing like prime Tube Geordie. Do you know what I mean? He's just... He's not good enough, in my opinion. He's not good enough. We've given him chance after chance at Spurs. He hasn't stepped up. I think it's time to go for Lo Celso, and I think if we can find any buyer, it doesn't really matter. See, this is the thing that will wind me up about Daniel Levy. He'll try and naggle for prices for the likes of Sanchez and Lo Celso, and it's like, if you can make any profit out of them, that's good. Because if we can't, I'd rather just release them, because it brings down the wages, gets them off your books. We can't be fussy about prices. You've got to take any price you're offered for the likes of Sanchez and Lo Celso, because there's not going to be many clubs coming in for them, and there's not going to be many clubs, you've got to keep in mind, that are willing to pay the price that we did for them. So look, Giovanni Lo Celso to Napoli, I hope that it happens, but not on a loan deal. I want to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions on this. And look, the final piece of news we are going to discuss, Harry Kane. Not too much on Harry Kane, other than the Bayern president did come out and make a statement on him and said that if Harry Kane keeps his word, he will be joining Bayern Munich. Very interesting there, but nothing we didn't already know. We've known for a few weeks that Bayern Munich have had a meeting with Harry Kane. Thomas Tuchel was there, the Bayern president was there, Kane was there, and his representatives were there, his brother, his father, etc. So there's no real breaking news there. But look, I'm not going to go on too much about Harry Kane, because I've made countless videos on it. Check out my videos on Harry Kane if you want to actually hear my thoughts and opinions. I'm not going to go in depth. What I will say is what I've said all summer. Do I think Harry Kane will go this summer? No. No, I don't. Because of the Premier League goal scoring record, because his family is settled in London, and because I don't think any club are willing to pay 100 million for a player with 1 year left on his contract, and I don't think Daniel Levy would accept anything below 100 million. So I think the most likely outcome is that he goes for a free next summer. Would I personally accept anything below 100 million? No. But if 100 million offer comes in, I think you've got to accept it with a year left on his contract. But I've stuck with that all summer. I don't think Kane will go, because I don't think we'll sell for anything below 100 million. And I don't think any club's going to put in 100 million for... Even though Harry Kane's one of the best in the world, I don't think any club's really going to put in 100 million for a player with a year left on his contract. And there's obviously the Premier League goal scoring record thing to count in, the one club man thing at Spurs, family settled in London. I've stuck with that all summer. But look, I've gone more in depth on that in other videos, which are completely and utterly about Harry Kane. So go check them out. But look, that is a wrap. Not too much news coming out this morning. Just a few reports, a few rumours. Nothing substantial, nothing really coming out from the most reliable of journalists such as Fabrizio Romano and Gianluca Di Marzio, etc. But look, I still wanted to come on here and present to you guys the news, and I have done that. It's been a pleasure being back. Thank you for watching this video. Take care of yourselves. All the best. God bless. And as always, have a smashing weekend. Come on, you Spurs. In Postecoglou we trust. Enoch and Levy out.